Hey guys, my name's Nav, I'm from Select Trade, and I'm here to talk to you about one of the new products that we're selling on our site. This little bad boy over here, jump starter made by a company called XNÜTZ. You may have heard of them. We obviously sell a lot of their products, etc. But I'm going to do a comparison between a like-for-like model. So basically, this is the powerhouse, and this is its probably main competitor that is on the market at the moment. So, first of all, apologies for any noise or anything like that that happens in the background. We're actually filming from West Harrow today, live in a workshop. These workshops been trialing our products, well, trialing the XNÜTZ products, and we've had excellent feedback. We've actually had about 50 taken by Volkswagen. Volkswagen Citygate have taken 50 of them today. I think they're going to be giving them with the new cars, because obviously new cars, heavy electrics, a ton of electrics, ECUs galore, power, batteries going flat all the time if anything's left on, because the amount of power that's getting sapped out of these cars is crazy. Obviously at the moment in modern cars there's just too much going on, and also a lot of these cars don't come with spare tyres, and when they don't come with spare tyres you're pretty much screwed, because you have no spare tyre and you've got a little piddly little air compressor that they give you, or a little foam spray that you put into a tyre if you have a puncture. But they're giving these away with a lot of their new cars this month. This is filmed in May. This is May, I believe it's the 18th today, so May 18th. This is being filmed live from West Harrow Garage, and we're going to be trialing this for you, or I'll be talking to you about this as well. So the thing is, it's been tested severely by about 7 mechanics at this workshop, and they've been doing routine jump starting, tyre pressure top ups, the whole lot, and it hasn't failed compared to our little other device here. Otherwise, you guys might have seen this on eBay, Amazon, sold by a company called Florian, actually made by a company called XNÜTZ, but it's half the price, but it's probably 10% of the product of this one. So anyway, first of all, letting you know, this is a 1000 amp peak power. 1000 amp peak power. It comes in this carry case, very slim, obviously perfect for boots of the car. Leave it charged up and it's ready to go whenever you're ready. So obviously it supplies 1000 amps of peak output. The running starting peak, well, the starting output is 450 amps. 1000 amps is really heavyweight. So in comparison, the largest vehicle that we've started here is a Renault Master. The Renault Master dual cab. It's actually a Class 5 MOT vehicle. If you're from the UK, you'll know that Class 5 vehicles are quite big, massive minibuses, and they've got pretty much 2 batteries on them running the electrics, etc., and obviously the accessories in the vehicle itself. This little bad boy started out no problem at all, and that's quite a big vehicle. That's about, well, I think it's a 3.8 litre diesel. So we're very happy with this, and the reason why we've told XNÜTZ we'll take it on, because we take a lot of their products on, and when we take a lot of their products on, we believe in their products. So this one is one that we really like. We're selling it, I believe the boys in the office are going to be listing this for about anywhere between 110 to 130 pounds, which is a steal for the spec that it has. It's actually quite reasonable for what it does. You don't get jump. Well, the thing is, if you look at the market at the moment, it's flooded with jump starters by Suzuki, etc., etc. These random companies that are just buying things up and just sending them out. But the fact is, you don't only require a jump starter when you've got a car. You're gonna have a flat tire, you're gonna have a low tire or whatever, right? So the thing is, why not have a device that has everything all included? So a lot of the jump starters that do actually come with the air compressor, they're separate air compressors, so it's a separate unit that you plug into that to do it. That's like it's bulky stuff. This is all in one. It has everything in it, as this does as well. This does it as well, but the thing is, this is like a Mickey Mouse version of this. Unfortunately, sorry, XNÜTZ and Florian, we've used this. Well, we've sent the trial out on both at West Harrow, and they've actually pretty much said that if they were to buy something, they'll take 50 of these and none of these. Well, that's saying something, right? So anyway, going off this product over here, this is what it is. Obviously, jump start output over here on the side. You've got 2 buttons to control the main actual console. So the thing is, the control panel, got a little power button over here, and then you've got 3 small buttons over here. So mainly the three small little buttons over here is to set your tyre pressures. So this actually gives you different units of how you measure the tyre pressures in. So that's kPa, pounds per square inch, and kilograms square centimetres. So you've got an option of many, including bar. My apologies, you've got bar as well. So you can actually change the actual settings to what your tyre pressure wants to be. Obviously using the up and down button to set the correct measurement that you want to have filled in. And once you actually set the measurement, this little bad boy actually sets and stops the compressor as soon as it reaches its required kind of pressure. The other thing that this thing does over here is obviously it's got all the accessory ports at the back. It's got all the accessory ports. So obviously it jump starts, it pumps tyres, it's got two little ports over here. The other thing that I forgot to mention was it actually deflates tyres as well as pumps them up. So you see at the bottom, when you get this device, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's got two ports here to extract air and to insert air, so aerate. So you've got two options on this. This doesn't do that. This only actually inflates. It doesn't extract. This inflates and extracts. And that's where this comes in handy, is when you've got like a Mercedes SLK with a spare wheel that actually comes deflated, and you've got to pump it up and then fill it into the car. The trouble with those tyres, those collapsible tyres, is you can never get all the air out of the tyre to put it back in the spare wheel bay. Well, this device does that in seconds. It will pump up a standard tyre. Standard size tyre today would be a 205 55/16. Yeah, standard size. That's probably the most common size at the moment across the board. 205 55/16 is the tyre size. This will pump it up within, I believe, 10 minutes flat. There we go. I've got a comparison here. 8 minutes for one tyre. And the comparison they've given us on the box is for a 205 60/15. That's slightly larger, right? And if it pumps up a tyre from flat in 8 minutes to 35 psi, that's really good, right? And that's pretty much better than most petrol stations, should I say, because the petrol stations, their pumps never work. You put in the token, etc., it buzzes away, it never fills up your tyre. But this actually stops at the required pressure that you set it to. So the compressor inside it stops as soon as it actually hits the actual measurement that you set it to. You might see some fluctuation in readings before it actually stops, but that's normal because it's trying to balance whatever air's gone into the tyre. And then you'll see the actual pressure swinging on the digital gauge over here. But trust me, it stops at the actual required pressures. We've tested it after where it's actually set a pressure on a manual gauge. Obviously this is a workshop, we've got manual gauges everywhere, and it's dead on precise. So it's so handy to have. And in terms of its max pressure that it fills up, 72 psi is the max that this can actually press up, well, pump up in one time from the power on the compressor, which is quite a bit. Which time are you going to pump up to 72 psi from flat? Very rare. So you're only going to really use a compressor to top up air or extremely pump up flat tyres, which we think is a fantastic kind of thing to have all in one unit, especially when it's handheld. Right, in terms of the power now, the main thing, the jump start storage. You've got the jump start port over here, and it comes with all the accessories. It comes with a smart charging cable, the line for the tyres, or for the compressor, should I say. It also comes with a pack of little fittings. So just say if you're not pumping up a tyre, or you're not pumping up anything to do with cars or tyres or whatever like that, you've got little adapters here for footballs and airbeds, etc. So there's little adapters that you screw on. It has a little notification here that obviously when the pump actually is running, and just say if you're pumping a tyre from flat, the pipe could get hot on the end, so you've got to be careful on that. But there is adequate labelling letting you know about this. It's also in the manual. So the thing is, obviously you're not going to pump tyres up 24/7 with this thing. It's only for emergency use, but it does a job like that. So anyway, it's got all the accessories. It comes with a UK plug charger. Also, you've got an air compressor backup. So just in case your battery power on here is low, but your car's good, you can plug this into your car, pump it over here for your 12-volt DC socket, and it will still run that compressor. So it's the fail-safe if you haven't got enough power in the cell. inside this unit over here, which is fantastic because you never know. You might not have power, but you've got power in the car, vice versa. Handy. And the last thing over here, you can jump start this vehicle using your 12-volt socket straight to this to the unit, and it will obviously provide charge through the 12-volt. It's obviously got a lot of diodes and electrodes, etc., that actually help it from surging. So it's a handy way if you can't get to the bonnet, or if the bonnet handle is broken, or you can't find anywhere to put your clamps on. This is the alternative. It will jump start it and actually supply power, and it will kick start your car, get your accessories working, the whole lot. So no, it's actually a full kit, and the casing is really good. So it's got this foamy kind of rubberized stuff, separate compartments, etc., and it all tucks away really nicely. So it just pops straight back in here and pops away really nicely. And the thing is, everyone's cars nowadays have got, obviously, a lot of them don't have spare tyres, so you've got excess space to actually slide this in where the spare tyre will be, and it's out of the way, and it's always there when you need it. Let alone devices like this, which come in like terrible packaging, etc., and it's obviously not durable. It's all soft. Unit can get damaged. This unit is not going to get damaged in this packaging at all, which we liked also, because the thing is, obviously we sell products online, so the packagings, etc., have to be, they've got to be the part, right? If they're not the part, then, and if you just get it in a brown box, etc., it doesn't kind of give you the trust in the product, as well as we know XNÜTZ has actually put a lot of effort into this item, and hey presto, closes up perfectly, locks up straight into your car. But anyway, going back to this device, it is certified, CE certified, RAHS, the whole lot. Obviously VW have taken 50 of us just today, but letting you know the specs on this one. So the capacity of the battery is a lithium polymer battery, and it holds 24,000 milliampere hour worth of capacity. That's 88.8 watt hours, which is massive. This one is 16,000, and the wattage on this one, or the watt hours on this one, is 64. So it's obviously very different. The prices obviously do tell. This is retailing from about 45 to 60 quid. It's very varied. Probably do the job, but it doesn't jumpstart cars like everyday cars, like a BMW 5 Series. It's not going to jumpstart it. This is going to jumpstart a Mercedes Sprinter van, easy. It's going to do the cars like a piece of nothing, you know. So anyway, size-wise, it is 265 millimeters wide, 160 in depth, and in terms of height, 63 high. So it's quite compact, very light as well. It's about 1.7 kgs, which is pretty much about the same as the Florian stroke NewsMe version, right? It also has connectivity to your outputs that you allow it to actually kind of charge up to: cell phones, tablets, 10 amp kind of 12 volt car electronic products, and obviously it jump starts 12 volt vehicles. It doesn't do 24 volts, only 12 volt vehicles. But if you've got a 24 volt vehicle that you want to have jump started, there is a different version of this for the trucks, etc., which is slightly bigger, but it's got an option of 12 and 24. It's something that we're not getting into, because you don't get a lot of 24 volt trucks that need a jump start. Normally those batteries are quite good and they're maintained quite often, like every 6 weeks, so you're not really going to use a 24 volt one on that particular kind of vehicle, but you're going to use it on these 12 volt vehicles, which are every modern day vehicle. In terms of the charging time, it takes 7 hours to charge this little bad boy, and it starts, my apologies, I said 450, the starting current on this, or the ampage output, is 500 amp. It starts, as soon as you plug it up, the starting current is ready at 500 amp, but if you peak it, it's 1000 amp, and that's constant. Operating temperatures is minus 20 degrees, so if you're up in Alaska or whatever like that, and you've got some severe kind of weather, etc., and it's generally about minus 15, etc., this will work. There's nothing going to happen to the battery in this thing. This thing's fine, and it also goes up to max operating temperature, well, outside air operating temperature is 60 degrees. Now that's hot. So this has got a good battery in it. It's got a solid battery, and the lifetime of this battery and this product is 1000 cycles. That's a lot. That's a lot of usage. How many times are you going to jump start your vehicle in a year? If you've got about 3 or 4 vehicles, you probably jump start them probably about 5 times a year. If you've got that many, you're probably not driving them all, and you're going to have to jump start, etc. But this thing is, I'm telling you guys, this is brilliant. Out of all the XNÜTZ stuff that we've had torches, bats, buttons, you name it, travel plugs. XNÜTZ actually only kind of like bring out products on the electrical side. So anything with LEDs and power, etc., they do it. Obviously, refined, I think it's a German, well, I believe it's a German company, but refined in the UK. So it's obviously, it's coming out of a good region, very good region. It's obviously assembled in the PRC. PRC is the People's Republic of China, so it's obviously assembled in China. Obvious reasons, it's probably more cost effective to do that, etc., than it is to make in Europe and pull in all the components, etc., which makes sense. Everything's done that way. Yeah. So in terms of what this device does, I'm pleased. I'm happy. I've already got one. I've got one in my car. I've got an Audi Q5, and again, that doesn't have a spare wheel. It's got a subwoofer in its space, but there's plenty of space to slot this in underneath the carpet in the little kind of compartments that these new cars have, and it stays out of the way. So at least I know if I ever have a flat battery when I'm out visiting relatives or up and down the country, etc., I know that I've got a guaranteed kind of like power ready when I want, because we've charged this at 100%. One of the units that we tested, we charged it to 100%. Obviously, we gave it the full 7 hours that XNÜTZ instructed, and we left it unused for, I believe it was probably about 5 weeks or so. And in 5 weeks, we turn on the actual power here. It tells us how much charge is remaining. Not 100%. It hasn't even gone down. So imagine 5 to 6 weeks, it's done nothing. If you're not using any power, it's not going to lose any power. So this thing, once it's charged up, it's ready to use whenever you want. And the benefit of this thing, and which I keep reiterating, is it's got a compressor built into it. And I know I clip curbs and stuff in my car, etc. When I clip curbs, it's knocking a bit of pressure out of the car. And the warning system on my car pings up a light that, oh yeah, tire pressure's gone down. This thing, nice and easy to top it up. Obviously, if you're pumping up a completely flat tire, it will probably sap out probably about 25% of the battery on this, because the compressor's obviously running a lot of effort, and when the compressor's running a lot of effort, it's going to use battery power. But that's normal. Power's going to get used on certain kind of like functions of this thing, but it holds and it's got really large capacity. So this is fantastic. We've had this tested against the Soroki. The Soroki hasn't got a like-for-like product like this. Anything that is, if you guys are actually research on eBay, Amazon, anything that's actually 1000 amps or above, you're paying silly money for it. You're paying about a good 80, 90 quid. But the thing is, the 80, 90 quid 1000 amp kind of jump starters, they've got a small battery capacity. So the thing is, it's going to set that battery up. But this has obviously got quite a large one. This is 24,000. It's quite a big one, and it's lithium polymer. So it's a good constructed battery, and it does what it says. It's actually got a little strobe light as well. So I'll show you how this works. So basically, if you can see this on the camera, press the on button, the blue display comes up, obviously shows the power and what the tire pressure kind of like setup is if you needed it. If I was to press the on off button down, right, if I hold it down, and if I press off, it turns it off. So it starts the compressor. It's smart, so it will know what pipe it's actually connected to. If it's air rate, then it will start air rate. It will detect it automatically, whether it's inputting air or taking air out. So that's how you get the compressor working. There's nothing fiddly in it. One button, you hold it down for 3 seconds, compressor starts. One touch on the on-off button, it will kill the compressor, so it stops. But the readings, etc., you can preset and it will stop to whatever the pressure you want it to be, which is fantastic, because you're not going to blow a tyre up, or you're not going to bugger the machine up by keeping the compressor on too long. It will find it, it will meet it, it's got the sensors inside to say, right, pressure's met on the pressure gauge, on the pressure line inside here, and it will kill the power. So it's actually very, very economical and efficient in terms of how it does it. In terms of the jump starter, there's no fancy kind of things there. You take the jump starter out of the actual box. Obviously, if you've got access to the battery or a specific location of terminals for your positive and negative terminals, especially on the German vehicles. Batteries are normally in a boot or under the seat or something like that, but they give you little terminals in the front that actually allow you to connect a booster or a charger or jumper cables or whatever. All you do is plug it in and you're ready to go. There's no buttons to press over here, and if it needs that extra wallop, there's a little boost button on the smart charger. You press it and it delivers the punch, and it hasn't failed us at once. So all you got to do is pop it out. It's quite tight. Tight means good, that means it's well constructed, and that's it. You can put your cables back inside. Jump started, done. Right, but in terms of the torch now, so if you press, you've got a torch here and you've got a strobe over here. If you press the power button down for about 5 seconds and your front torch goes on, while it's on, press the buttons or the power button, and it'll give you a fast strobe, a slow strobe, and turn off. And if you press the power button twice, obviously everything's off at the moment, press the power button twice, it'll turn the strobe on. Now I know myself. When you're going to use a strobe light, I have no idea. In an emergency or something like you break down, you got yourself a nice strobe inputted. But yeah, this product is fantastic, and I hope you guys get a chance to use one. They're obviously getting out and about now. V-dubs have taken it on. A lot of garages have taken them on. Obviously, we're based in Harrow. This is one of our local kind of workshops that we work closely with, that we supply products to, etc. And they happily tested this product, and they've given us and given it a really good review and feedback. And yeah, really happy with this. But anyway, going off this one over here, this is your this is the competitor, NewsMe or Florian, little device that we got given by NewsMe, and we used it. First of all, as soon as you turn it on, unfortunately everything's in Chinese. It's got little clunky buttons. The thing we hated about this, it's cheap plastic. The screen doesn't actually kind of like marry up with the window over here, and there's too many on-off buttons for stuff. There's just too many on-off buttons, and the one thing that we had is one day we couldn't even turn it on. It turns on and it looks like a little Game Boy where it comes up with the kind of logo, but there's just too much information, etc. on the screen, and it's quite complicated to use. Whereas in terms of how we sent both the products out, is here's two, try them out, let us know what you think, have it for about a month, and let us know your input. Garages use this stuff all the time, right? And a lot of the drivers, etc., and the fleet drivers specifically, they found this too much effort. It actually took a lot of understanding to use beforehand, whereas this was simple as anything. It's only got like really one main button, a compressor button, and tyre pressures. That's all it's got. So it kicks on straight away. It's very simple and easy to use. We're loving it. Sorry, Florian used me. You do the job for cars that are like Ford Fiestas or Peugeot 106s and stuff like that, but you weigh a ton. I don't know, you look like a diagnostic machine. It's not easy to kind of transport this kind of thing because it only comes in a little sack, and then all the other bits come in another little sack, which is quite, you don't really kind of feel kind of like you're buying something of quality, etc. because if it comes in two different bags, and if you lose a bag, you can't jump start anything because all your jump leads, etc., and all your AC connectors, DC connectors are all in here. If you lose that, or unfortunately, sorry, wives out there, my missus has got a habit of chucking things away. She doesn't know anything about something, she'll dash it in the bin. And this can happen with this. At least this one and their devices all come in one solid carry case, professionally made. Everything's professional about this. We're happy about this, guys, and I just want to thank you for the guys that actually put up with this video. Obviously, this video was made on a fly, very quick, very quick, because we had time to actually do this from another premises with the equipment in our van, and we thought, let's just quickly flag it up. We've got a spare moment. Let's get this review done for our viewers and subscribers, and yeah, we had to show you this because we're going to go into the workshop and start getting the word well, the reviews or the feedback from the mechanics that have been using it, and it's top notch. But thanks for watching, guys. God bless, take care.